Hey everybody, welcome to GeekStorm. I'm Sean Hilton, owner of the finest comic book store in all of Kokomo. Thomas Q.
He doesn't remember.
I'm the founder of the Kokomo Con. I put on some scholarships. We're doing some other stuff.
Such a good
some
guy.
Great sales.
No question.
Today I am joined by Michael Allen Harrison, who has got a lot of cool stuff that he wants to share with you today. So,
that's not to go.
Mike, what have you been up to the last couple weeks? You haven't been here.
Well, what did I do last week? Oh, I've been working.
Okay. I mean, it's good to work, but I'm saying in general. And nobody, unless your work is geeky related, then
it can be. I've been playing a lot of the World of the Warcraft.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm back into it.
You got out.
They keep pulling me back in.
Why? I don't
know. I like it.
Do you?
I like it.
Is it still fun?
It is fun. I'll tell you what I'm doing now at the moment, because new content is getting ready to come out in August. Okay, a new they call it an expansion. Right now your max is 110 levels, so the next expansion will probably be 120.
And what is your current level?
Oh, I have like 8 110s.
Oh, okay.
Because those big content things come out, I want to say every 2 years, every 3 years. So you have plenty of time to get your main character through everything, and you're like, oh, now what do I'll do an alternate character and blah blah blah. Anyway, but they introduced something a few years ago called transmogrification. Transmogrification, in which you can make, and this is completely paper dollish, you can take the stuff that you have on, this shirt that you have on today, those pants, but because they have stats, you want to keep those, but you can make them look like this other shirt or this other thing that you think looks cooler, and you can mix and match all the sets and do all kinds of stuff. And those things are all available in old raids, like back from level 60, level 70, level 80 raids. So a level 110 character can just walk through there and kill everything, like
himself, like a boss.
Just one shot everything. And so you can do an entire raid that used to take three or 4 hours for 25 people. You can do that in about 10 minutes. But you collect those appearances, and they're in your collection. So from that point on, I just got this level 60 whatever.
I want some 20th level parachute pants.
Right, exactly.
I've got them now.
Exactly.
But now they've got my 110 level stats.
Yes.
On my my MC Hammer.
Exactly. That's exactly. Boy, succinctly you put that so much better than me. Anyway, that's what I've been doing. I've been going just out of boredom, collecting old appearances and stuff, and going through old content with these characters. So new stuff's going to come out. People get excited for the new content, but it is really, for the most part, more of the same. They're higher levels, higher stats, different.
Harder grind.
Yeah. But
to get to your 10 extra levels.
I can't.
How long do you think it takes a normal person to get those 10 extra levels?
Probably.
A normal person, not the super grinder guy who's doing it for a video to prove he did it in 24 hours.
Well, here's the thing about that game. At any time, you can type /played, and it'll tell you how much online time that character has had. Okay. So in real game time, probably 3 days of real game time. Not 3 days and I sleep and in between and all that stuff. I'm talking about you're online with that character for about 3 days.
Okay.
That's my guess.
About 48 hours.
Sure. That's not really what 3 days is, but math is hard. It's okay.
72 hours. Gotcha.
Aren't you glad I'm back?
Yeah. So, Harlan Ellison's dead.
Oh, that's a real shame.
So there's been a lot, because we have a story about this,
Sure.
so I bring it up. Because it's a shared story for once.
It is.
That isn't one of those, my cousin's uncle's brother said. No, we were both there.
We were both there.
We both saw it.
And this one I actually don't mind when you embellish a little bit, because you embellish on a lot of stories.
Oh yeah, it's
absolutely. This one I don't
that
mind.
is my thing. But I think people know it.
Sure.
So we were at a show several years ago.
Back in the 90s, 95
back when we were going
maybe?
back when we go to a show for 3 or 4 days.
Oh, yeah.
And actually at the end of the 4th day, be like, I didn't get a chance to see it all.
Right.
Now it's like in 3 hours for like lunch,
it was
dinner.
maybe in Motor City, maybe?
Yeah, oh yeah, it was old school Motor City when it was the size of, just amazing experience.
Right.
And Harlan Ellison's like a big guest, and he's up there, and I have never been into his material. I'm a big sci-fi fantasy guy, but I've just, for whatever reason, that one just slipped off to the left. Mm-hmm. So we've got other friends with us that are fans. He's got a huge crowd. People are going nuts. And I'm like, that's Harlan Ellison. And I understand the fame. I get it. He's done some impressive work.
Right.
He's beloved. I got it. The only thing I really knew him from was Sci-Fi Channel.
Okay.
Had a thing where he'd come on once a week on a show and be a curmudgeon-y old man, which I guess is his whole shtick.
Sure.
Curmudgeon-y old dude. So we're up there at this show. He's behind his table, and he's doing a signing, and he's signing whatever, comics and novels, and I don't know, whatever he's got. And this is back in the 90s again when you had, like, the first wave of digital cameras and stuff like that. And so guys in line to get autograph Harlan Ellison, and his kid, who's probably between 9 and 12.
About that age.
Is off to the side, and he's got a camera.
Right.
Harlan sees this kid with this camera, and he looks up, stops what he's doing, he goes, hey, and the first time he's not so bad, don't take my picture. Pretty firm about it though, but just don't take my picture.
Right.
Goes on for a few more minutes, and then a little while later, he stops what he's doing, he looks up. The kid, from what we can tell from our distance, has not taken his picture, but is being a kid fiddling with an electronic piece of equipment.
Right.
Harlan stops and says, listen kid, I told you, do not take my picture. Goes back to doing his sign, looks up once or twice, goes back to doing his sign. A couple minutes later, kid's still there. Kid still, from what we've seen, has not taken a picture, but is now looking around the audience and is messing with this device. Harlan stops what he's doing, stands up, and in front of a huge crowd, I will come over this table, take that camera, and throttle you with it. The crowd erupts into roars of laughter and clapping and cheers. Accolades abound, this man. And I'm just like, what an asshole. Wow.
Can't say that.
He was just so, but his fan base was eating it up. The kid, of course, is mortified. I think the dad still didn't even get out of line.
Here's what I remember.
Okay. It's got to be pretty close.
Well, they're in line. Like you're Harlan Ellison.
Hi, everybody.
Not a hard comparison.
I'm not going to sign that Star Trek
draw.
item for you today.
Okay. People are in line, you know, and as the things you said about him telling him not to, that's the way I remember it also. As the dad and the kid got closer and closer is when he was getting the maddest. The kid had the camera around his neck. I think, from what I remember, Ellison reached up and grabbed the camera thing and kind of jerked the kid down and said, listen, kid, I said don't take my picture. The dad is totally fanboyed out. Oh, hey, sorry, he didn't mean to, you know, and not realize or not doing anything. The fact that this guy just manhandled his kid, you know, and that's the way I remember it. I'm sure he probably said some of the things you said also, but I remember that part.
Either way, so that guy's dead. Oh, then 30 minutes later, because one of our buddies was really excited regardless, he was doing a reading. And so we go into this reading, me thinking, man, this guy is just a giant. And we sit down, and he gives his reading. It's about a clock, and there's so many like seconds or minutes left on this clock or something.
60.
Blah, blah, blah. I forget exactly. Gives the most incredible reading I've ever heard in my life. Okay. The story itself is magnificent. His presence and reading of it are spectacular. Blows me away. So I'm like, wow, you are such an incredibly talented jerk. That's a skill to have. And so to this day, that's what I've thrived for. Mike.
Right, and I think you've achieved it. I think max level.
So that's our shared Harlan Ellison story, and we're glad we got to share that with you. And he's dead.
Speaking of shared stories, and this is going to be a personal thing. I just want to thank Sean and his lovely wife Christina, and of course my wife Casey. They put on a great 50th birthday party for me. I'm 50. I know it's hard to believe. If you get a good shot of it, you can get a close up if you want, Mike. And hard to believe, but the entire night was Mike centric, and allowed me and us to tell stories of our adventures and things that happened to me. And couldn't be, for somebody as narcissistic as I am sometimes, couldn't have been better. So I really appreciate it. It was very, very touching. Dukes was there. You guys weren't, but sorry. So
he gave me a very specific list.
No, I didn't.
One side was who to invite,
Don't lay
and
that on
one
me.
side was a you dare tell them where I live.
That's right. You're on the do not invite list. Sorry, that is exactly not what happened. But anyway, so regardless.
Hey, you're welcome. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was fun.
We took all the really mean shots and gave those to Derek.
Yeah.
So we gave you all the nice stuff we thought you'd like.
Right.
And then everything I wrote that was mean, I erased it, and then I put Derek's name in.
The highlight of the night for me, again, this is narcissistic. The highlight of the night for me was we're playing a game called Hilton Wants to Know, which is a very Jeopardy-like game. There's categories and there's point levels and things like that. We'd finished the first round.
We'll film it sometime.
That will never be on film. We'd finished the first round, which there were many, many things that had to do with me and some other people. And the whole night, this is the last thing we did in the evening, and we'd been doing these things for 4 hours. we get to the second round, and I'm looking at the categories, and there's really not a lot about me up there. So he asked me a question at some point, and I said, you know what, I'm really not interested in this anymore because there's nothing really up there that's got anything to do with me. So that was fun, I thought. Anyway, hey, GeekStorm, we're doing a show.
Hey.
Yeah, why didn't you wear your helmet to GeekStorm?
Oh, I should have. I'll wear it next time.
You got a new helmet.
I'll definitely wear it next time there's a Star Wars movie. We'll say, but that's like a year and a half, sorry. I'll wear it.
Be just in time for the
I got a lot of great gifts. Gifts weren't required, but I got a lot of great gifts, and it was a good day to be Mikey for sure. Did you go see Jurassic World?
I've not seen it yet.
Oh boy.
Talk all about it.
Well, did you see the first Jurassic World?
Yes. I mean, I like it. It's one of those things where I haven't seen a lot late. I've been dealing with stuff with Mike on another project,
Very
all
similar.
geeky related.
As if you didn't already have to make the leap of dinosaurs in the real world. There was a huge leap in the relationship between Owen and that blue dinosaur. Okay. Because before you saw him doing, things, and they all ran together and all that stuff.
They were a pack.
Yeah. Well, they really played him up as the they play Blue up as the golden prize, the golden ticket, the thing. They were really trying to get his genetics.
He's the MacGuffin.
That's the word I was trying to think of. He's the MacGuffin, and is it a she? It is. Yeah. Hey, zip it. So.
Listen, Harlan. Chill out on the
Does that kid got a camera?
Well, now every kid's got a camera. There's nothing we can do about it.
That's true. Anyway, it was okay for me. Kyan loved it a lot. Kyan's 9 years old. He liked it a lot. But again, I just thought it was just okay.
So was it an Act 1, prep, Act 2, go to Dinosaur World, Act 3, Dinosaur King Kong escapes into real world situation?
It was Act 1. They've left the island where everything happened last movie. It's abandoned except for dinosaurs. There's a volcano on it. It's exploding, and all these dinosaurs are going to be killed, except for the flyers, I assume. So Act 1 is find Owen and talk him into helping us rescue these dinosaurs. Especially, they want to get at least one of every species. That way, they can genetically make more. Along the line. They can't save them all.
They did Noah.
Yeah, exactly. But they only need one. They need the pair. It's 1 by 1, not instead of 2 by 2.
Gotcha.
Act 2 was them finding out that the people that were collecting the dinosaurs are bad guys. They want to sell them as weapons, and we need to get off the island.
That
and
was
escape.
brought up in the first movie.
Yeah, and then Act 3 was killing the bad guys and letting dinosaurs loose to go on the world. At the end of the movie, spoiler: dinosaurs are loose on the world. In Kokomo, there's dinosaurs now.
That's awesome. I mean, that many? Seriously, that many?
No, well they
they only got one of each. You said, right?
They probably saved 30 or 40.
Oh, so there's 30 or 40 dinosaurs throughout the entire world.
Yeah, I don't mean the land. I don't mean the land was covered with dinosaurs.
Gotcha.
I mean they're loose.
So unless the dinosaur's pregnant,
they're loose.
Then
hey, life finds a way.
So, I mean, it's a problem, but I can tell you in Kokomo, if you were to tell us there was a raptor out there,
sure,
that's just heaven. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, in the United States of America,
tastes like chicken.
30 or 40 dinosaurs. That is Pokemon Go for adults with real weapons. Okay, that's what's about to happen here.
Gotta kill them all.
So,
yeah, so it was just okay. It was all right. But.
Okay. Any good previews? I would think that's a big movie. They might put something new.
I don't remember the previews.
Yes, it's been a while.
Speaking of previews, though, we saw, and we'll get into it later, I suppose, but we saw Ant-Man last night. Mm-hmm. A half an hour.
I believe it.
Scheduled to start at 7:30. The movie didn't actually roll until 8 o'clock.
We went and saw Andy Jenkins, another good friend of ours, also had a birthday. So for his birthday, he got to pick the movie we went and saw.
Was I on his do not invite list? Because I didn't get an invite.
Did you want to go see Uncle Drew, or do you just want to thank me for saving you from that?
What's Uncle Drew?
Yeah, that's a movie, dude.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh,
they took
Don't even waste your time watching the trailer.
Reggie Miller,
oh, okay,
a couple dudes that dressed him up as older people,
Was
and
Shaq?
they played basketball.
Did Shaq dance?
Yeah.
Did Shaq dance?
Yeah, it was.
Who would want to see that?
It was so bad.
Was it bad?
But there was 20 minutes of previews for a movie that I'm like, who's here to see this? Except for Andy, who, of course, he loves that nonsense.
Right. One of the previews we saw last night was...
For Ant-Man. So you saw Ant-Man last night.
Yeah.
Let's get into Ant-Man.
Okay. Non-spoilery, it was very good. Better than the first one.
Really?
I liked the first one.
I really like that villain. I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen the previews, and the Ghost is a great villain.
Just like Thor Ragnarok really bumped up against that edge of too much humor, especially in the first half of the movie, but not too far. Paul Rudd's a funny guy. You can't not take advantage of him. Plus, you got Michael Pena who's doing his thing.
He's gold.
He was
Love
great.
him.
He got a lot of screen time.
He's one of my favorites.
It was really good. Yeah. I saw Kyan last night. He really liked it as well. And it's in my, as of, just real quick, it's probably top 5 for me as far as the Marvel movies go.
I mean, as you said, Thor got really funny. My problem with the Thor getting to that level of funny was the first one's not.
Right.
The Paul Rudd Ant-Man movies, those are flat out, as far as I was concerned, those are action comedies.
Right.
So for those, I allow slapstick and a laugh track kind of mentality almost to it. Every 90 seconds there's got to be a joke or something. So I don't see that with all Marvel movies, but definitely with this.
Yeah,
so.
it was really good. There are 2 after credit scenes. The mid credit scene is the important one. The very after the end is 5 seconds long and it's a throwaway. It has nothing to do with the
just a
anything.
funny joke, a last minute before you leave.
I wish they'd switched them, to be honest. But the mid credit scene it's probably 3 minutes long. It's a good scene.
I'm excited about seeing it. I wanted to go see it last night. I had me and Mike had something, and then he didn't show up because he's that guy.
Oh,
but I did. I took it for both of us.
I'm married now, and they're
It's true.
Say no more.
He's not been married long enough. I've been married, 2 years? Year?
won't be a year until then.
So going on a year, 20 years.
Wow.
Hey, Mike, new guy, new Lud. Hey, honey, I want to go gaming a whole lot. Oh, I don't think so. 20 year. Hey, honey, I'd like to go gaming a lot. Get out of my house. Get out. Kick. I'm going to see Ant-Man. And buy me the ticket.
You had
and
me at,
email me the
honey,
thing.
I want to go.
It gets better and it changes. At some point, there's a tipping point where you're like, and there is a foot in your butt, like kicking you out.
Right.
So
I'm gonna tell you right now, and he's sitting right there. This is the entire reason I married Casey. Okay, is because I'm just a year or 2 away from a solid full-time movie partner that I get to go, well, Kyan wants to go see this, I'm going to take him, and then I get to go see the movies that I want to see. That's really the reason we... No,
is that it?
No, that's not it.
Good, because I hated that job.
What do you mean?
2 or 3 years I had that job. So we used to have a rule.
Solo.
We would go to any movie that the other person wanted to see, anything. If they asked, you had to do it.
Yeah.
But if you legitimately walked out of that film and said, and meant in your heart, that was a bad film, the other guy had to then pay you back the money.
Yeah.
So, Solo. I don't remember which of us paid who back.
Not Han Solo.
No, Mario Van Peebles Solo.
Right.
I remember walking out, and I either got handed money or I just pulled out my wallet and gave the money. I'm like, it's all yours, man. So, dates us a little, but...
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Anyway, Ant-Man, really good. Good action, good humor. I'll say I didn't get enough Michelle Pfeiffer. She's in it. But they did do the cool thing where they de-aged them, and they de-aged them both. That was pretty cool.
Did you see them on a mission or doing something with
Okay, remember the clips of the mission we saw in the first one where they're on the missile? You see the 5 minutes leading up to that, and then they re-show that again, and they added some more footage to that as well.
That's kind of cool.
So that was neat. But you get really the whole family vibe is going on. And at the beginning of the movie, and this is not a spoiler really, but at the beginning of the movie, it's something I wouldn't think of. Hank and Hope were mad at Scott, and were like they were on the outs for quite a while.
Okay.
Apparently they were upset, and I guess we didn't know this, that when
he wouldn't help Cap.
He just kind of grabbed the suit and took off and didn't ask. I don't know if he needed to ask, but it wasn't his suit. It was Hank's suit. So he grabbed the suit and took off and went and did it. And when he came back, they were pretty mad at him. So
Okay.
because and they tied in the Sokovia Accords. They said, well, the reason he's under 2 years of house arrest is because he broke the Sokovia Accords. The reason Hank and Hope are on the run from the law is it's their tech and they provided it, and so they're on the run also.
Okay.
So it was interesting and everything.
That's the only movie. It's funny. The comedy is the only movie that's really dealt with that.
Yeah, because we've been out in the cosmos for most of the other movies. I don't know that we've been back too much.
In Avengers, that like Black Widow's got the blonde hair and
Right.
they're obviously on the run.
Right.
But they don't really talk about it. It's
Right.
just a fact. And
Right.
so in this, it sounds like we actually we're bringing it up. That is why, and going through it. So that's
Right.
cool.
Yeah.
So this morning I turned on my Netflix as I'm getting ready to prep. I'm gonna watch a few minutes of something, eat some breakfast, and come do this. There was a new movie out.
What's it called?
I believe it was called Buck Fever.
Okay.
get this. This is like a Netflix original. Haven't heard about it. Haven't seen a preview of it. So on it, it's one of those little trailery things as it starts of your traditional. Not PBS. The
BBC?
no, what our crap's on.
Public access.
Like a public access hunting show.
You said what our crap is on.
And yeah, let's face it, the only people that watch this are people that have to. You don't have a choice.
We just tripled our viewing audience right there,
There
with,
you go.
with the intern.
I love it. So it's one of those, you get in this like the cheesy like scenes and whatnot. And as I'm looking at this, it's like I'm Buck and I'm the hunter and it's white-tailed deer season and it's all about that.
Okay.
It's him and his show and whatnot. I'm looking at this guy and I'm like, who is that? And so finally, it's Josh Brolin starring in this thing.
Oh, really?
Danny McBride's producing and writing some of it, and he's in it. And it's like a fake documentary kind of style, but movies. I've only seen about the first 15, 20 minutes of it. So the whole thing is like that's his life. That's what he does. He's kind of famous. He's semi-famous for it.
Sure.
And he's taking his kid out like on his first hunt, except divorced and whatnot. And the kid so far has just been crazy funny. Josh Brolin's got like the cheesy mustache and the whole, oh man. So check it out. I believe it's called Buck Fever or something of that nature.
Right.
And if you like Danny McBride stuff and Josh Brolin doing comedy, this is gold.
I really like that Danny McBride HBO show.
Eastbound and Down or the
Eastbound and
Principal
Down.
one?
Eastbound and Down. The Principal's just okay for me.
I haven't seen the Principal, but I loved Eastbound and Down.
Yeah.
That was just so over the top though.
Yeah, it was fun. Very
This
fun.
so far has been a mix of dramedy with some pretty funny comedy.
Speaking of Netflix, there was one thing on there that I kind of got sideways on that I was looking forward to. I saw the preview for it. Your big picture on the, and it was the Churchill thing where
Secret Agents?
Yeah. It's a series, and I clicked on it, and then I watched the trailer for it instead, and it is a reality show.
I was going to say, I thought it was you take normal people and they had to do the training or something.
Yeah, so Churchill
these
comes up
spies
with,
had
I
to
want this
do.
super squad. I want them, and had to train people to be spies and stuff really quick. Well, they take actual footage and they mix it with the Survivor type of thing where they go through all the training and everything and who can survive and all that. But that seems like, I hope it's a short series. I'm not going to watch it, but hopefully it didn't last too long.
So when I saw the title, because it also popped up for me, I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
Church. I'm like, I
right,
want to see that.
right.
And then I'm like, wait a second, a reality show. And I'm like, and I did the same thing. I'm like, love the original idea. If you'd done a movie about that, I probably would have watched that. If there'd been a documentary about that, probably would have watched that. A reality show, I'm like, I got better things to do.
Yeah.
And I don't, but I'll find something better to do. So yeah, that's a little silly.
Yeah.
On the gaming front, I know you're not a big game guy, so
I like games.
we got some friends that are doing some role-playing games right now on Kickstarter. Scott Jones and his buddy Ron Laws are doing a Kickstarter for a game called Quantum Black. They produced a role-playing game using a system called the Ubiquity System, which is just a really easy role-playing game system. It's great for hardcore gamers. It's great for new gamers. I think it's a perfect intro system for anybody that's interested in a role-playing game but doesn't want to deal with so much stuff coming at them in the way of numbers and things of that nature that it kind of bogs it down. So this is a quick way to do it. Their game's Quantum Black, and it's a modern survival horror. So kind of Resident Evil meets Supernatural. You kind of mix those kind of elements with a little bit of X-Files. And it's got second Kickstarter going for an extended book with more information. That's been a lot of fun. They've reached their initial goal to actually get the book made, but now it's got just a day or two left, and there are some goals that they're trying to reach to get some extra stuff unlocked. So check out Kickstarter and type in Quantum Black. Check that out. And then there's another one coming out from a company whose name I can't even pronounce. They're a German company, but they do something called Space 1889, and it is an extension of their game. So Mars, it's steampunk meets Victorian kind of adventure, pith helmets, colonials, the sun never falls on the British Empire kind of thing, except now in space. So check that out. Good stuff, fun stuff. And then we got some new stuff coming from our company that we're working on called Danger Magnet. We were going to be announcing some stuff here very soon with that, and very excited. Monday, go to Facebook, Danger Magnet Presents, and we're going to unveil our first new kind of a new ongoing thing here in quite some time. So it'll be a good time. Did
you hear about this Avengers extended cut?
I have not heard about an Avengers extended cut.
Well, apparently Jim Starlin at a Comic-Con somewhere.
who's out with Marvel right now. Like,
Is he?
they've had a big tiff, and he's like walked away.
Is he not getting Thanos money? Is that what he's upset?
I think it came down to something much more simple than that. He was doing an original Thanos story, and somewhere in an ongoing Thanos comic going on right now, they were going along the same lines where he was doing an original graphic novel.
Gotcha.
And I think somebody's feelings got hurt somewhere, and he's walked.
According to him, Marvel Studios is actively, very quickly working on. They've got an additional 30 minutes of footage.
Okay.
And apparently it has a lot. It is very Thanos centric, and that they are rushing through to do the sound and the mixing and the editing, and they're going to tack it on and release that in theaters as well. Now that'd be a big deal as far as breaking more and more of these records. I think if it hasn't already, it's slid into third place, maybe still fourth, but it was super close to third place. Pretty hard to get near Titanic numbers. Pretty hard, obviously hard to get near Avatar numbers. But it did beat The Force Awakens, which I think was in third place. So
I would go see it again.
I'd see it again. I do want to see it again before it leaves. Even the current iteration, I want to see it again before it leaves theaters. I've seen it twice. And
I'm really behind on my movies. And hopefully it's not gone yet. I haven't seen Ocean's 8 yet.
I haven't either.
I haven't seen Jurassic World yet. I haven't seen Ant-Man yet. And I thought there was one other thing floating around out there that I haven't seen yet, but I'll have to.
I want to see that
take a look.
Hereditary, the
I don't want to see
horror
that
movie.
Yeah, I'm not a big horror movie fan though.
Yeah,
But-
it's supposed to be one of those. Well, did you see Witch?
No.
Which was I really liked Witch, and it felt almost M. Night Shyamalan-y, which is a word. Look it up, and in which slow burn. The payoff wasn't pow, but it was like, oh, that's so cool. When it did pay off.
Okay.
And I hear that Hereditary's like that, so it's something I do want to see. Did you see the poster for Glass?
Yes.
That looks really. It's a poster, but it looks really cool.
I remember that image of Bruce Willis, or at least something very similar, and I definitely remember that image of Samuel Jackson. I don't remember the guy in the middle. I haven't seen that movie yet.
Oh.
But I don't remember him looking nearly that jacked.
Well, at the end he is.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Holy cow! Do they hide? In all the previews, he looks like,
So-
he might be Matt size. Kind of, puny.
So since you know that's what happens.
Yeah.
In the movies,
Over this table.
movie Split, he's a multi-personality person.
Yes.
Okay. So they lay the seed throughout the movie that not only is multiple personality a real thing, it's also possible for those multiple personalities to change physically the person that's hosting. Meaning, obviously they're
When he's a little kid, he's much smaller.
yeah. Well, he's a full size. He's a
I understand, but if his personality is that of a little kid, he's
yes.
not shrinking down a little kid.
No,
size,
no.
He looks
But
physically small.
Yeah, they were talking about DNA tests and
Really?
stuff like that. There's real, actual physical changes. And throughout the movie, they see. Well, we're afraid of. They call him the Beast. We're afraid. The other personalities are constantly talking about the Beast.
Gotcha.
We don't. We're all very afraid of him. Blah blah blah. So that's what you see at the end of the movie. And he does. It's muscles ripple and everything. So it was pretty cool.
Okay, I have to see that. I still haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, it's good. And James McAvoy was fantastic in it. Anytime you have to play 10 different roles in a movie and pull it off, he was great.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I need to get that in Cloverfield. Cloverfield 2 and 3, or the Cloverfield, the John Goodman one and the Paradox I haven't seen yet. So
The John Goodman was fantastic.
I really need.
Oh.
I even ended my Netflix DVD run by having to purchase it. I had it out so long, I canceled my
Yeah.
subscription. They charged me for it. So
It was
I own
very-
it, so there's no excuse not to watch it.
It was very From Dusk Till Dawnish, and it's mostly this movie, and then at the very end it's this other movie.
Okay. Well, I look forward to seeing that.
Yeah, it's good.
I just need to do it.
Yeah, you need to sit down.
Yeah.
You need to put these games down for a little bit, okay? Step away from the dice for a minute and just. Oh, that's good.
I've been watching a lot of Star Trek.
Okay.
I'm on I started
Discovery.
probably within actual next gen.
Oh.
I think about 3 months ago, maybe not even quite 3 months ago, I started watching Next Gen. Now I'm up to season 5. And so some good stuff, some horrible stuff. Man, there is a lot of mixed bag in that.
Yeah.
Looking back on it, some of it's yeah, it still holds up. And other times you're just that is just a horrific nightmare of an episode of crap.
And rumor or not, there's talk now of bringing Patrick Stewart back as Picard in this next thing. I don't think it'll be a next generation reboot.
Not Discovery, but a whole new project.
Yeah, a new thing on probably network TV would be my guess, and where he still plays John.
The
Picard.
Nexter generation.
To me, it's got to be the Academy type of thing where
That'd be good.
he's like the headmaster or something. He's the Dumbledore. Hopefully, we'll
I
see.
can see that.
Yeah.
Professor Xavier.
We've been talking I've been saying for years I wanted to see an Academy
Yeah.
like TV show. I think with your whole Dawson's Creek meets
Yeah.
Riverdale meets
Right.
CW, you add in a Star Trek element to that preteen drama crap or
Right.
that teen drama crap, and I think you've got.
There's so much sci-fi right now.
winner.
They could repackage some of that and just make that the Star Trek show.
Yeah.
I mean, the 100 is much like that. It's young
I'd
people,
check it out.
bad situations, blah 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 blah. The only thing I got on my list is string cheese, mayo, and pop. So I guess
Nobody needs mayo.
it's on my list right here.
I don't honestly know that anybody needs string cheese, but you definitely don't need mayo.
Mayo's good.
Ugh.
Light mayo.
No, no. I don't even think Miracle Whip is mayo. I think that's a whole different substance.
What about a nice mutton, lettuce, and tomato sandwich where the mutton is really lean?
Mutton sandwich would be great, but
good.
the lettuce and tomato, leave that
Alright.
crap off there. All right, everybody, that's your Geek Storm for this week.
What? 204? That's crazy.
We'll be back next week with more stormy, geeky goodness.
205 unless you do the math.
Until then, be groovy.